Hello, welcome to our today's video. In our today's video, we are discussing how to become a beef farmer. Before you become a beef farmer, you should have some knowledge about beef farming. So here are some of the things that you should be knowing before starting a beef farm or being a beef farmer. One thing is select quality cattle breed. Make sure you are capable or you know the best breeds that do well when it comes to beef farming. We have a variety of breeds that do well in beef farming, of which in our farm we don't have the best breed for beef farming, but we have a little or the most common breed that we use here in our farm. They're just the local breeds that we just source from our local market and use them in beef farming. So this breed that we have here in our farm, for sure it does well. I can't complain much. It does well, it gives a good return. So this is the best breed. Okay, for me, not the best. For me, it fits my pocket because you, buying it from the market is not that expensive because it's just a local breed that we just sell at a lower market price. Okay, buying prices from the market from the pastoral communities is very pocket friendly. Doesn't need more capital as compared to getting the good breeds for meat production or for beef farming. So if you have enough cash, you can go for the quality breeds as the first thing. Select the quality cattle breeds, yeah, that you are going to raise in your farm. Secondly, you should know how to select healthy livestock. Yeah, purchase healthy livestock. If you're going to the market or you're going in a person's farm and in ranches, make sure you know how to identify healthy livestock or healthy cattle. Once you select the healthy cattle or you select the healthy breeds or not healthy bulls that you are going to use in your beef farming, you are going to be lowering the cost of production. Remember, you'll be lowering the cases of disease, cases of any illness in your farm. So the amount of drugs you are going to use in your shamba, you have already lowered them at the buying time because you're buying healthy cows. Okay, there's no way you'll guarantee yourself that throughout your farm you lack diseases, but buying healthy cattle, you're lowering the chances or you're lowering the cost of veterinary personnel visiting your farm. Third thing, you should install water sources. This applies to all the forms of beef farming, all the types of beef farming, be it feedlot, be it, ranches, be it pastures, any type of beef farming. Make sure you install water. You can either drill water wells, you can use water from the government sources, you can dig boreholes, but make sure you install water. Not just water, make sure you install clean water that will boost and will try your best to lower the cost of what? The cost of health. You know, while if you feed your animals on water that is contaminated, maybe from the dam, mostly these natural dams, the water is stagnant. If you take such water to animals, you'll find the animal, the animals themselves will acquire the worms from this water, like the bilharzia. You find it will need more cost when it comes to deworming your animals. Instead of doing every 3 months, you'll be doing it monthly because the water that these animals are consuming it is highly contaminated. So make sure you give your animals clean water. The water traps should be cleaned always or daily because I can say give your animal clean water, then you give your the clean water in dirty place. So make sure you do regular cleaning of the water traps to make sure the animals are getting pure, clean water. Fourth thing that you need to know, you should plant pasture fodder. By planting your own fodder, This will reduce the cost of production. Remember, in beef farming, where there is high cost of production, mostly is at the feeding area. So once you plant your own pasture, your own fodder, you have your own farm where you are planting beet, napier grass, beet, lucerne, beet, maize, beet, sorghum, beet, oats, beet, what? Alfalfa, beet, boma grass, any pasture that you are going to plant to your farm, it will do what? To lower the cost of production. And by doing that, remember, if you have your own farm or where you're going to plant the pasture, the waste from the animals, this is the manure from the animals, you are going to reuse it in the shamba. You see, the waste from the animal, you're going to use it in the shamba. Other than making biogas, it will also acting as manure to those crops in the shamba. And remember, assuming you have silage, not silage, I'm sorry, you have napier grass, you have maize, you have lucerne, you have wheat, you have oats. These pastures or this fodder, you can chop them and prepare what? Silage. This will help you to feed your animals the time of drought. When you compare the planting your own pasture and buying pasture from outside or sourcing it from the other farmers, you'll find buying, okay, planting your own silage or planting your own pasture is half the amount you are going to use buying. Assuming buying a kg of pasture or fodder from suppliers, you'll find you buying a kg at 14 shillings, Kenyan shillings. When you compare you planting that plant in your farm, the cost of production of that plant will be 7 shillings. Yeah, see, from planting till harvesting till chopping, all that activity will cost 7 shillings when you do it, when you plant them to your farm. But when you buy, you'll buy at 14 shillings. So better do what? Better plant your own pasture, own fodder that you are going to use to feed your animals. Another thing is make sure you have personnel who know how to handle these animals. Here I'm talking about proper feeding. Proper feeding. Remember, beef animals, if you want to do it in a professional way, make sure you minimize the amount of energy these animals they are using moving from one place to another, either in search of water, in search of pasture. Once you reduce the level of this animal moving around the farm, now you enclose this animal to an enclosed area where you are going to be providing this animal with all the nutrients. Yeah, providing it water, providing it with feeds, that is silage and concentrate if you have the amount to purchase concentrate. This animal, the work this animal will be having just to feed. After feeding, this animal goes where? To rest. Just having a small walk inside the pen. After a small walk, it rests, digests the feed to do what? To make meat. So the essence of these types of beef farming is controlling the wastage of energy. Once you control that, that is good. I was talking about proper feeding. So under proper feeding, if you give your animals a routine program whereby you are going to be feeding these animals twice a day, be it in the morning, in the evening, once a day, only in the morning, give it enough feed that the animal will feed throughout the day, 3 times a day, feeding in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Depending on how you are going to tune this animal, make sure you follow that schedule. Yeah, never miss any meal according to the way you are feeding the animal. For instance, in our case, we are feeding an animal twice a day, that is 8 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, or 2 to 3 in the afternoon. So we always stick to this routine so as the animal itself adjusts to the way you are going to be feeding that animal. Another thing is healthcare. These animals, since you have enclosed them in an enclosed area, the health of this animal also bases in your hand. You should be doing regular checking of these animals every morning. You check all the bulls, if they are healthy, if there is anyone that's having sick, walking problem, lameness. Make sure you observe your animals every morning for you to identify the sick animal, the one that is stressed. So regular health checking of these animals will make sure you are rearing beef farming at a profit level. Because once you identify a sick animal, you will call the doctor instantly and come and address that animal or the case instantly. So regular checking of these animals' behaviors is a good thing. If you are not capable of doing that, you can look for a veterinary officer who will be visiting your farm maybe twice, 3 times a week, checking the animals healthy and doing what? Giving you good report. And if there is any case of disease, he do what? He vaccinates or he treats the animal. Other thing is make sure your animals they are on a good vaccination regime. Anytime there is an outbreak of a disease, make sure these animals they are given the vaccine on time to reduce what? The risks of spreading of diseases and the risks of loss in your farm. Okay. Another thing is shelter. Make sure these animals you have sheltered some areas where you're going to control them from too much heat. This applies to areas where there is high temperatures. Yeah, you should try your best to do what? To shelter a few portions in the pen where these animals can relax in those areas. Yeah, if there's trees in the pens, it is better. Remember, these trees are outside. You can just select few trees and leave them in the pens to give the shade to the animals. So the animal will not be suffering from too much heat stress because there is shade. And as I said earlier, the feeding area you make them with a roof. So this roof can also act like shelter for these animals during hot area or hot times because there is a shade from this shelter where the animals will be going without shelter to do what? To shelter themselves from too much heat or too much sun. Another thing is handling area. Make sure you have a crash in your pen. Make sure you have a crash where you're going to be doing the normal routine managements of these animals, like the ear tag applications, deworming, injection. You should be having a crash. Crash is the best thing to have in your farm because it lowers the risks of these animals injuring the handlers. Okay, so make sure you have those few aspects for you to become a good and successful bee farmer. Those are the few things that I have at the moment, but we are going to discuss more what we need to be having as we start and continue doing what? Learning more about bee farming. Remember, the population is still growing and the essence of meat, people are still needing more meat to consume. So we need to do our best